everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody! Welcome to Anime Jam Session episode number 617, and Happy New Year! Happy 2024, y'all! So how is everybody doing tonight? Come on! The year just started!
And I've already gotten sick.
COVID?
No, thankfully.
Alright, fair enough. Well, anywho, it feels good to kind of be back, back in the saddle again. I know we were supposed to come back last week, but honestly, I guess, being in Japan for about 2 weeks and coming back, I kind of needed like an extra week to kind of relax before getting back into the swing of things and make an attempt on my backlog of stuff, which I never did. Most of my free time was, well, I'll explain to that later on, in the show. So, anywho, let's get the new episode going. We are live tonight, week of January 16th, 2024, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You will always find us at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. And they're also on Twitch. You can find them at Twitch TV/vognetwork. They kick things off on Sunday, starting at 8 p.m. with the Bobby Blackwolf Show, followed by Orange Lounge Radio at 9. And we bring it on home with Anime Jam Session Tuesdays at 9. And we also have a Discord. You should come hang out with us in our Discord at vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's a part of the Voice of Geeks Network has their own channel, so come through and hang out and have a good time. So, yeah. And let me snooze this ad for like 5 minutes. Thank God I can do that, Yeah, that's something I know I talked about on a prior episode. Like, there are some podcasts I listen to, and it's like, I understand you got bills to pay, but you're putting in a little bit, one too many commercials. Hell, there's one podcast I was listening to. When the episode is over, there is, thanks for listening. We hope that you enjoyed this previous show. As a part of this network, here's a preview of another show that's on our network. Please give it a listen and support. That's when I hit stop and I go to my next podcast. I am not interested, nor do I care. Anywho, let's continue to get things going. Now that we got that all out of the way, we're going to do a bit of a wrap up. Normally it says, how was your week? How was your day? But we're going to go, how was your break? How was your vacation? How did that go? That's what we're going to do. And Ari's going to fill us in on what's been up to since our last show.
Well, Christmas came and went. I did work a good amount over the holidays because, if I didn't work the day of and the day before and the day after, you didn't get the holiday pay.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. And with Martin Luther King Day being yesterday, my check cleared earlier than usual, and all the overtime pay was in that, so that was incredible.
Oh, that's good.
I apologize if I sound a little weird.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
No, I mean, I came down with a flu the past couple days.
Oh, I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah, I think it was around like Wednesday or so.
Mm-hmm.
I started feeling like this. No, not Wednesday, Thursday. And like Friday I pushed through it, Saturday I pushed through it, Sunday I can't do this, I have to take off. I went to the urgent care near me, and they did a while we're here, we'll do a combined flu COVID test. I'm like, okay. It's that little wand thing that goes up your nose.
Right, yeah.
You should be able, how long how far up is that gonna go? Oh, just until it starts tickling.
Mm-hmm.
And I nearly sneezed it back onto the poor woman. I don't have COVID, thankfully, but
Well, that's good. I mean, I had that test done like almost 2 years ago, right around the time when me and Mako went to go see Alanis, and I got the results. It says flu cold negative, and it said something positive about COVID. And I was just like, huh?
fuck.
No. I just thought it was a heavy cold because, like, 3 days, not even 3 days later, that shit cleared the fuck up. So I'm like,
But yeah, there have been parts where I've been just like sneezing so hard that like everything from here upward just started radiating in pain.
mm,
And then the past couple of days, I've gone through like every can of chicken soup in my apartment.
okay. What about tea?
Um,
Been drinking tea?
huh? Yeah, I got tea right
Oh,
here.
that's good.
And let's see what else. Oh yeah, I was going through every reputable cold remedy, you know, kind of remedy I had, and
Right.
even started looking at some of the hokey ones. I'm like, uh... but yeah, the urgent care clinic gave me the Tamiflu,
See,
and
go on.
well, they said like, oh well, it's a virus, so you can't really cure it. You just have to
Deal with
force it along its way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not at the point where I've had any of those really crazy ass fever dreams like you would have like something like if freaking John Waters directed a children's cartoon for Nick Jr. or something like that.
Man, listen.
I've just been waking up, just completely sheathed in sweat. It hasn't been fun.
No, no. Trust me, I believe it. It's been a while since I felt like that, and it's like I don't go to the urgent care anymore unless it's like after like 5 p.m. or some shit like that. Because what's
Well, I had to do it on Sunday because my doctor's office wasn't open then.
well, okay, that's understandable. Because my thing is, on one block is urgent care. If I walk down 2 more blocks, my doctor's office is right there. And the difference is urgent care has a $25 copay. My office has a $15 copay. So I will endure if I have to just to save $10. So, and that's something I'll get into a little bit later. But also, whenever I get sick like that, I don't go to the doctor. I get the strongest meds I can get over the counter, and I'm just like, let science do its thing.
Yes, but doctors have better science.
She's right,
Yeah, but 9 times out of 10, that better science is the same over-the-counter shit that you're gonna get anyway.
Hell no.
Well, you need a trank like a horse, so
as do I.
I guess it's just me then, Because the strongest I've ever gotten that's not over the counter was Tylenol 3 years ago when I dislocated my knee, and they're like, here's a week's prescription or 2 weeks prescription for the pain. I took it for 2 days and that was it. I'm like, it doesn't bother me.
Pain,
Yeah, I just apologize if I sound nasally. That's all.
Dude, it's fine. It's fine.
pain is something completely different than a cold or the flu or something like that.
I know, but still, I have a high tolerance for it, which is probably why over-the-counter stuff works for me. Except for that one time I took store brand Mucinex, I found myself like in the middle of La Caja Falls or something like that, Woo, that stuff put me down, and then some.
Yeah, like New Year's, I stayed up long enough to watch the ball drop, and just another. That was a net.
Gotcha.
Just another day at work, really.
No, I totally get that. Like, normally, like, I go out with Mako and we go out with friends for New Year's. This year, it was like traditional, at the computer, 3, 2, 1, hold the stick up for the fireworks, Happy New Year's, 12:01, back to chatting as usual. That's what it was for me. So, which I'll get into a little bit later. So,
I did the Times Square thing once. Never got within 10 blocks of the place.
I would never. I would never.
Well, considering people camp out the day before at least,
And wear
I
diapers.
definitely would not do that.
And most of them wear diapers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a very sanitary time of the year.
Yeah, because if you need to go and you leave, and if you somehow get out of there, you're not getting that spot back.
Yeah.
All right. Mako, what have you been up to during the break?
Well, unfortunately, during the break, I came down with the plague.
Oh,
Yeah.
COVID?
You got COVID bingo.
Yeah, so after 4 years, I finally lost that game of COVID bingo. So I ended up sick the weekend before Christmas. Didn't think anything of it. I just thought it was a cold.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, I was so stuffed up I could barely breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So I called out of work, and then my mother's like, "Well, that sounds kind of like what I was going through when I had COVID, so maybe you should test."
Mm-hmm.
And so I did, and so it was positive, and yeah, so I was out of work just because I was so stuffed up. It was so bad. I did end up having to get steroids, and they prescribed me a nasal decongestant on top of that. And so I worked from home one day that week.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas Eve, my mother delivered me dinner. And then I went to her place Christmas morning, and we sat outside in her screened porch to open gifts, at which point I went back home and she cooked dinner.
Okay.
And then delivered dinner to me because, yeah, I was still, within the you will probably give this to somebody stage. I luckily before the holidays and everything, I took PTO for the day after Christmas and the day after New Year's.
That's good.
So I worked from home the rest of the week for New Year's, and then New Year's, instead of going to, our traditional hangout, one, I was still testing positive at that point. I knew I probably wasn't contagious anymore, but I didn't want to chance it.
Right.
I was also dealing with fatigue, so it would probably not have been a good thing. I basically, as soon as it came to midnight and I said, Happy New Year to everybody on online, I went to bed.
Fair enough.
And then the next week too, I was dealing with fatigue. So that week after New Year's, I ended up working from home as well. So yeah, it was a very interesting holiday this year.
I believe it, and I forgot to have the soundboard up, so I got it up. So yeah, this is for you, Mako.
Gee, thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I haven't done anything. My living room is filled with empty boxes. Just because I was getting, my shipping in and just opening it up right there and just going back to bed. So I have a lot of cleaning to do to get everything back to where it was before I got the plague.
Before DEFCON 0?
Yeah. So yeah, it's been interesting. I still don't have full smell and taste, which is a very interesting thing. And I am still dealing with a little bit of fatigue, but luckily I'm mostly back to, whatever is considered normal nowadays anyway. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay. All right. So My break, well, unless you were like a camel and you had your head stuck in the sand, I spent 2 weeks in Japan. And
Yeah, fuck you.
what was that?
I said, yeah, fuck you too.
Tell me how you really feel. I will get into that part later on. But when I got back, I got what's interesting is going there and coming back, no jet lag.
Yeah, well, you've got a fucked up sleep schedule anyway. So.
I think that worked in my favor because what I did was when I was going there and coming back, I watched some television and I watched some movies, and they had my favorite Christmas movie up, so I watched that on the way back.
Which one was it?
A Christmas Story.
Oh, cool.
Yep. By the way, I have I think it's like the 30th or 40th anniversary Blu-ray sitting up on the shelf in the back. I picked that up before I left, but so I did that, and then what I did was after I just spent half the flight time watching television, watching movies or TV shows, and then I slept for the rest of it because, as Mako-chan can tell you, 9 times out of 10, if I sit in the seat and if I'm comfy, I'm usually out like a light.
Yeah, especially when he's supposed to be your damn navigator.
Yeah, things happen, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got back, I went to bed, and I woke up like 2-3 hours later because I'm like I couldn't sleep. So I ended up spending like another hour and some change, like unpacking everything, sorting stuff for laundry, and all the stuff that I bought. I think I posted everything that I got on my Facebook. If it's not on, if those of you on my personal, you've probably seen it. If not, I'll post it on my public one. Facebook.com/IamDJRonMS. And the next day, I actually went to a friend's house for a combination Christmas and New Year's Eve party. And then I had no idea if we were going to have our usual New Year's Eve party because my plan was to pack a bag after, go to my friend's house, stay overnight because it takes like an hour and a half to get to his place by mass transit. So I figured I'm all the way up here. I'm going to be here till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I might as well just pack an overnight bag and then just leave from his house straight, the Penn Station, or to the Port Authority and catch a bus to meet up with Mako. But since there was no holiday plans, I stayed home. And, I think this is the first time in like 10 years I've actually been home for New Year's Eve ball drop, which wasn't bad. I knew there was a couple of parties going on, but I was like, you know what? I think I feel a little exhausted, so I'm just going to chillax and just deal with it all later, which I think turned out to be for the better. And I know when I came back, I spent like the last couple of weeks kind of catching up on some anime I was watching. I've been working on my blog, like uploading the photos from my trip and like writing my review. And it's like I'm sitting here taking everything I've talked about my trip on my private Facebook, trying to convert all of that into an actual blog post, which I was able to figure out and do. Thank God for that. Because I was trying to rewrite everything where it was more from a review point of view, which I was able to do that. I spent like 3-4 days like curating the photos and uploading them. And I think I have everything uploaded except for a few photos. And I'm trying to kind of post pictures here and there so I can kind of figure something out, because I might have to take it out of the format I have for it, but that's fine. That's for another time. And then it was back to work. So, and supposedly we're supposed to be getting a third person in the department, which is good because as much as I like to travel, and I don't. My boss doesn't have any issues with me taking time off to travel throughout the year. I just feel bad having to leave one other tech by themselves. It kind of
Mm-hmm.
sucks. But what's going to happen is for Zenkai, when I take Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off, he's just going to have to deal. And that's basically been our break. So now we're going to get into some housekeeping news. Let me pull this real quick. Don't forget, podcasting VODs episodes are up on our YouTube page at youtube.com/anime jam session. The VODs are on our playlist folder, so click on podcasts over there and you'll see all of the episodes. Episodes go up Thursdays at midnight, so definitely check those out and please support the show wherever you can. And our Anime Jam Session Anime Convention 2024 tour kicks off in March. Zenkai Con 2024 at the Lancaster County Convention Center, March 20th to the 22nd, I want to say. Let me pull this up real.
It's the week before Easter.
Yeah, March 22nd. It's March 22nd to the 24th. Okay, got you. There we go. That's not so bad. So definitely come through, hang out with us. It'll be great. It's a great convention and all that good stuff. Now that we got that out the way, we're gonna get into Geek Roundtable. This is where we talk more about the geekier aspects of our lives. Like, kind of want to let you know what we've been up to, or we want to share some cool stuff. So Ari, what you got for Geek Roundtable?
Let's see. I just want to show off one of the things I got for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Got some new work shoes, which I very dearly needed.
That's good.
Because like the seam on the old one, like from like ear to here, it was almost like hanging off, like you could see the sock inside of it.
When it comes to my shoes, as soon as I see that crease, it looks like it's going to tear. I'm like, yeah, it's time to start shopping around for a new pair.
Yeah. I got other stuff I want to show, but it's in the other room. I'll show it the next time.
That's fine. All the stuff that I brought from Japan, believe you me. For those of you who are watching, you can probably see a couple of the gifts in the background that are gift wrapped. I have been spending the last couple of weeks packing stuff up and mailing it to people a little bit at a time. All right, Marco, who are you worshiping this week?
Yeah, so this was one of the things that I decided I was going to get myself for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So, me and my obsession with Funko Pops, I saw this one, and it was an exclusive, so I did have to get it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I did get the God Loki Funko Pop. He is sitting on his throne. So yeah, I got quite a few Funko Pops for Christmas. So I figured I would show off the one that I actually got for myself at this point.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, this one has already gone up in value, so I'm kind of okay with that.
I have a couple of pops that have done the same thing, so I'm kind of happy about that too. So yeah.
Yeah, I think with shipping and everything, I ordered him with shipping it was 40 and he's now sitting at 60.
See, speaking of Funko Pops, I had to replace one that was stolen.
90. He's now at 90.
I have a friend who's a big Loki fangirl, but I think she's more of a fan of Tom Hiddleston or something like that. I wonder if she has the God Loki pop. So I should ask her, but I actually had to replace one of my Funko Pops because it got portion snapped, and I I can't. I the funny thing is, I didn't even realize I never got it till I happened to go through my emails. I was cleaning out like older emails. Like, wait, what? So instead of having to deal with the post office, I just said screw it and just ordered it through Amazon. So and somehow it showed up at my job because I put my job address down by accident.
Yeah, I with the help of Ranma went through my entire
Mm-hmm.
collection. I have 86 pop figures.
Mm.
And those 86 pop figures are almost about $2,000 in value.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not even my most valuable one. He is my second most valuable one, but he is not even my most valuable one.
I want to say my most valuable pops has got to be either the Sailor Venus or the May one, the Overwatch May ones.
The May ones are actually not that valuable.
God damn it.
Yeah, which is very, very sad because I have one of those and it's actually undervalued at this point, I think.
Don't people realize that May is Bay? But it's okay. I have regular May and Christmas May. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, regular May is sitting at about $9.
Hmm.
And she was one of the ones when she first came out that you could not get because everybody was buying it up.
I think I had just walked. I'm trying to figure out how I got them. I think I just happened to order them online and just grab them. I think.
No, the Maze, I think you ended up having to get through a friend at Hot Topic.
Probably wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. All right.
Your Santa May is $7.
Of course. It doesn't
What
matter.
about the one I got you?
What you got me a May pop?
No, I was talking to Mako.
Oh.
What one was that?
The one I sent you for Christmas?
I never got one for Christmas.
What? I thought I thought I mailed it out to you.
I never got anything from you for Christmas.
Unless you sent it to her old address. We hope you didn't.
No, I swear I sent it to your current one.
Well, hit the tracking number and see what happens.
Oh crap! I don't think I have it anymore.
This is one of the reasons why I do email receipts. So just in case if I lose the physical, I have it in my inbox. But clickable tracking links.
This is why I don't like to mail things to anybody.
No, I totally get it. Like I mailed Ari his Christmas gift a while back, and he never got it. And I went through hell with the postal service. They end up never finishing the investigation. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this. They're all a bunch of
What,
lazy.
they just gave up?
They just never returned my calls.
Yeah, it sounds like giving up.
Yeah, those lazy bums. All right.
God, I feel fucking dumb.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, so my Geek Roundtable. I finished watching The Dangers in My Heart season 1, which is really good. It has a bit of a Dexter feel to it. So it's about this kid who wants to kill the most popular girl in school, but he discovers how quirky she is, and they form a bond, and he starts falling for her, and they start falling for each other. And the main thing that I think one of the main things I like about this anime, the main character Anna Yamada is actually taller than the main character the protagonist in the show, which I think is really cool because there's not enough love for tall girls. So I really enjoyed that. I finished watching Golden Time, which took me forever to watch because it's a good show, but I just kept getting sidetracked. I'm caught up with Free Ren with the dub. I'm watching through the 100 girlfriends that really, 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 really love you, and it's basically it's quite the parody of your maid trope of your what is that? What do you call it when you have all those partners?
Harem animes.
Harem. Thank you. Quite the parody trope of harem animes. Anywho, down here is a bunch of figures that I bought. Some of them are stuff that I bought previously before my trip. When I went to meet up with my friend Evan, who runs Boston Bastard Brigade, who he moved out to Japan and he's been doing good. So he's been telling me that there is something at Animate Japan that's been sitting there for months that I want, that I should have. So I go, and he takes me there, and he's like, here it is. It is a plush Akane Tendo from the anime Ranma 1/2.
Nice.
And here's the interesting part. A while back, I had bought this along with a shampoo and I think girl type Ranma from her for like $80. Now, I do understand, people who resell them got to make their money. And I get that. I don't know how much she paid years ago, but I paid 800 yen for this. That translates to about $6.50. At first, I was like, nah, I don't want it because I already had it. And I gave this to somebody as part of a care package for their birthday. But then I saw it about, I was, you know what? At that price, I'll get another one. So, that's what I did. So, there's that one. So, and for the next few weeks, I will be talking about some of the other deals I've got, and I'll be showing off some of the other figures that I have. And I have a figure that I bought months ago. It's still in the box. And the only reason why it's still in the box, I just haven't gotten around to doing like an unboxing for it live. All it is, I'm just going to just rip the plastic off and be like, here it is. It's a figure I've been kind of pining for like a few years, and I just caught it at the right price with enough reward points from Amazon so I can get it for free. Now that we got that out the way, we are going to talk about my trip to Japan. Now, I will not take up a lot of time on this. I'm just going to get down to the nitty-gritty, and once I have my review up the way it should be, and all the photos the way it should be, I will be posting a link on our fan page, so you can definitely check out the photos, the videos I took, and the complete review. So basically, I decided to take a trip to Japan. I mean, because my work is closed for 2 weeks out of the year at the end of the year, so I was like, you know what? I'll figure this out. I will not get into the financials. That's all. I have the rough variant of the financials on my website, how it all happened, so it works that way. So I didn't catch a nonstop. I flew to Toronto and then from Toronto to Narita. And let me tell you, Air Canada is pretty fucking comfy. Their economy is premium economy, okay? I enjoyed the leg room, okay? I did, and what I also enjoyed was I didn't need like a special headphone adapter to listen to the videos I was watching. Just plugged it right in, done. So I was happy with that. So I get in, I get picked up. There's a driver picks me up. I convert more money to have just in case because I had already converted my money. I pulled more money like that Friday before I left because I wanted to have like backup stash just in case. And then I also have my card. We'll get into it in a little bit. So I go, I get everything taken care of, and it takes me to my hotel in Akihabara. So I go, I unpack, I unwind for a bit, and it's a bit late. But I do go back out, I walk around, I go to Yoshinoya's, and I have dinner. Good, delicious food. And I was out by like 11, 12 o'clock. Now, like I said, I didn't get any jet lag. But for the majority of my trip, I was going to bed early, but I was also getting up early. For me, the benefits of being up by 7 was so that I can get breakfast at the hotel, which didn't happen for 2 days because they didn't have the I forgot to add the breakfast tickets to my meal plan, but that's fine. So usually from like 7 to like 9:30 or something like that is breakfast. I did that, and then I spent that time exploring Japan for the most part. So I was in Akihabara for 3 days, and I spent those 3 days walking around, checking deals on figures and so forth, purchasing stuff here and there. I met up with Evan at Ikebukuro, and we hung out, and we had a great time. I actually came across a Sesame Street retail store.
Really?
Yeah, and it was really cool. And you know what else I saw?
Hmm.
A Toys R Us.
That doesn't surprise me.
I had to wipe the tear when I saw that. And what was interesting, in that same mall, I came across a Subway. I didn't eat there, but I was just thought it was kind of cool seeing that. I will say this. You know how here the malls are kind of dilapidated and empty and just like holding on for dear life?
Some of them are, yeah.
Yeah. The malls in Japan are totally different because there, online shopping is an option and not a necessity. So it really felt good walking through the malls and just seeing the hustle and bustle of people. Yes, it was around the holidays, but at the same time, to my knowledge, it's like that normally. So I actually had to do some side quests for a few people to grab some things. Now, one thing I didn't realize, like, some of the malls, like some of the like, you know how Macy's and some Targets are like 2 floors and 3 floors. There are stores like that in Japan, like Big Camera and Yodobashi, and on a couple of these floors, you'll find there's another chain. Like in this one store, I think it's Yodobashi. It's 6 floors. 6 or 7 floors. One of the floors is not, I don't think it's them, but it's Daiso and Uniqlo. And I'm trying to find the Daiso, and I didn't realize I had to go inside and make my way up the stairs. Normally, when you look up stuff in Google Maps, it usually tells you have to go through here. It didn't do it, but I was able to find it. And I did a lot of walking. I almost bought a thermos for water, but then I realized I don't drink that much water. And when I do buy beverages to drink, I'm good. I'm fine. So part of my trip, I did my pilgrimage to Nerima. And for those of you who don't know, Nerima is where Ranma 1/2 takes place, in that neighborhood. So I went out there, did the pilgrimage, didn't realize that Warner Brothers has a studio out there. And they do a Japanese Harry Potter tour out there. On all of the poles, on all the poles, there are these flyers for that. And I'm just like, wow. What I did not realize is Harry Potter is more popular in Japan than it is in the UK, which is kind of interesting. And granted, how some people feel about the franchise, the author, and so forth, that's all I'm going to say about that. So I thought it was cool seeing all of that. I walked through Nerima, hopped on the train, met up with Evan, and we hung out, and then I went back. On my 3rd day, I went to Nakano Broadway. Now, Nakano Broadway is basically a 4-floor mall of merch. Ari, there's a store there just for for wrestling.
Nice.
Figures, everything, the whole 9 yards. Mako, there's a store just for yaoi.
That doesn't surprise me.
And also, there is a store just for magical girl stuff.
So something for all of us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's also a store they also have a store for all like Godzilla and all those types of monsters and stuff like that, which is really cool. So I found some stuff there. And one thing I will say about Nakano Broadway, if you're looking for rare stuff, that's where you go. get there early because you'll be doing a lot of walking. You won't be doing a lot of walking around, but you'll be spending a lot of time going up and down the stacks. And before you buy that figure, check if you're in Akihabara, check the local shops. Because I found stuff that I bought at Nakano Broadway. If I had waited till I got back to my hotel and walked into the stores around there, I would have saved a few dollars. Like a total of like 1,000 yen, which is like $7-8, which is not really so bad. That's fine. So now that's all out, said and done. I went to Hakone. Now, for those of you who like whose ears kind of twitched or got warm when I said Hakone, Hakone is basically known as Tokyo 3. Where have we heard Tokyo 3 before?
Evangelion.
Yep, that's Tokyo 3. When you get there off the tramway, you see all the advertisements for it. It kind of looks like a makeshift nerve headquarters. And there's an official Ava store at the train station, which I totally forgot to check out when I was there. So I was up there in the mountains, did the hot springs. It was really nice. And yes, I did the whole anime where the main character has a towel on his head while he's in the hot spring. So after that, I went to Kyoto. It was 2 days there. It was really great. It's kind of posh, but it was still cool. I liked walking through the shopping arcades, which reminded me of the arcades from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, or Abenobashi, if you've seen it. I had McDonald's. I had a teriyaki burger. It was quite delicious. The following night, I went back out to this place called Star Restaurant, and I got spaghetti napolitana and a strawberry parfait. I paid, I think, around 1,600 yen for that, and that's about $12. And it was a fulfilling meal.
Nice.
Also, I went to Kura Sushi. They're one of the chains of revolving sushi. And Ari, they have a type of sushi there that you can eat.
Oh, yeah?
Beef sushi.
So instead of, piece of fish, it's a piece of, like, beef or something like that.
Yes, it's a slice of cooked meat that they put on, done up like rice. And it seems like the American chains have that as well, so.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. And I tried it. It was really good. So, I ran into a lot of secondhand stores, and I could have sworn this stuff was like firsthand, like brand new clothing and so forth. I passed by a couple of stores. I was playing a lot of hip hop and R&B. I thought I was back in Brooklyn again. Okay. There's this one store called Spins, a secondhand store. I went up in there. I felt like I was a senior in high school. Okay, 1996. And I was in a combination of just oh wow and like oh wow, So I did that. Then I went to Osaka, and you can't do Osaka in a day. And yes, while I was there, it was Christmas, so I got my KFC Christmas chicken. And the funny thing was, there was a line to get to the KFC. So, but I got my KFC chicken, and it was delicious. It reminded me how KFC used to taste back in the day. So I did that. I did some laundry, and I went down to a neighborhood called Dotonbori. And it's like Times Square on crack. People partying, people puking. There's homeless people over in the areas. It was just Party Central USA over there. I felt like I was back home. And it didn't help that the Don Quixote that was there had a Ferris wheel attached to the building for you to ride.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get onto the Ferris wheel because it was already closed by the time I got there. So I did that. I left, went to Takayama, and I went back for the hot springs. It was really nice. And I explored around there. When I was up there, I did the Takayama Old Town and Hirano Sato, which is a folk village. It's basically like a traditional village, what a typical village would look like during the Meiji era, I believe. Meiji Restoration or Edo period, around that time. So after that, I went to Minato, which is, and my hotel was right by the Tokyo Tower. I think I was there for a day. Yeah, check in. Yeah, technically 2 days, but I was there for a day because the second day I had to go catch my flight and go back. I met up with some friends. I hung out with one friend at Ikebukuro who helped put together my itinerary for my trip. And another friend of mine, we went to the Final Fantasy 16 cafe. No, Final Fantasy 14 cafe, which was really fun. And the one thing that kind of blew my mind was Don Quixote. Don Quixote is the unholy child of Walmart and Macy's. Now,
Walmart and what?
Macy's.
Oh.
Anything you need, you can go to Don Quixote because it's an Uber discount store. Anything you need, you can find it there. So I had to go up to the top floor, which is name goods, because I needed a suitcase. I had to get another duffel bag to bring the rest of my merch back. When I got up there, I found name brand stuff. Hugo Boss, Louis Vuitton, Versace, Burberry, all name brand stuff. Wallets, purses, jackets, coats. And it was still cheaper to buy it in Japan than it is in the US. Because if a Louis Vuitton wallet is $200 in the US, more than likely.
First of all, what the fuck?
Secondly, it would be, I would say, 20,000 yen. And with the conversion rate, that's like $175 after tax. I see the beer ask me about Peddler's Mart. I think that's the America Town or something like that. I did not go there. I totally forgot about that. On my next trip out, I plan to do that. Also, on my next trip out, I want to hit up Universal Studios. Now, overall, I had a great time. This is like a really compact version of my trip. I would recommend, if you ever had an opportunity to go to Japan, do it. If you have an opportunity to just travel outside the country, do it. Being outside the country and seeing other things and other cultures, you kind of look at things differently when you get back. I truly enjoyed riding the rails out there, seeing everybody in their proper uniforms, the way the bus drivers were driving the buses, everything. It was great. I had an amazing time, and I cannot wait to go back. Oh, and one more thing. You go get an eSIM or a MiFi, because what's great was I had an international plan with T-Mobile, so I could actually make phone calls and text messages without any charges. But you're kind of nerfed at 256 gigabit data and stuff like that. Okay. Now that we got that out the way, we're going to get into tonight's stories. First off, we're going to talk about how Japan wins its first Golden Globes. I think that's a really amazing thing to hear.
Yeah, it's good for them.
And it's through Studio Ghibli, which is no shocker there. It seems that Hayao Miyazaki's latest film, The Boy and the Heron, scored a Golden Globe Award for Best Animated Feature Film, a category for which fellow animation legend Makoto Shinkai Suzume was also nominated. This is the latest in the film's long list of accolades, including Best Animated Film at the New York Film Critics Circle Awards and second runner-up at the Toronto International Film Festival, where it was the first animated film to ever open the event. Produced by Studio Ghibli with music by Joe Hisashi, the film premiered in Japan on July 14th, 2023, and without any traditional publicity, leaving fans with only an official poster. It then made its international premiere on September 7th at the Toronto International Film Festival. Soma Sentoki stars as Mahito Maki alongside Masaki Suda as the Grey Heron and Amyon as Hime. For the English dub, Luca Padovan stars as Mahito alongside Christian Bale as Shoichi, Dave Bautista as the Parakeet King, and Gemma-chan as Natsuko. Okay. Cool. What else do we have? Next up on our list, we're going to talk about what's going on with solo leveling. And we've always talked about how how voice actors put so much into it, and sometimes their voices are heavily affected. And it seems this happened with the anime solo leveling. Take it away there, Mako.
Yeah, so the character, Sung Jin-woo's voice actor,
Hmm?
reportedly coughed up blood while recording the as yet unaired episode 4 of the anime series. According to an online solo leveling fan who attended one of the anime's initial premieres, the director revealed that Taito Ban, the Japanese language voice actor for Sung Jin Woo, coughed blood while recording episode 4 during the quote unquote snake fight. Although the report has not been confirmed by any of the cast or producers, viewers seem to agree that while concerning, the news is likely accurate. Um, Somebody posted, according to the VA's interview, went so hard on the episode that he was coughing up blood. Basically, it is screaming and desperate cries that were on a visceral, that were visceral on a different level. Yeah. So, solo leveling takes place in a version of the world in which portals to different universes open up randomly across the globe. Some take advantage of this, just like the main character, Sun Jin Woo, who becomes a hunter fighting monsters in dungeons to earn money. So, although he's notoriously weak and largely unsuccessful, during a dungeon raid that leaves him dismembered and a hair away from death, Jinwoo is suddenly given the opportunity to become a player for the System, a mysterious organization with immense power. As a player, Jinwoo is given the incredible rare ability to level up without limits. Yeah. So the most, let me see when this was. So this was published a day ago. So the most recent episode is episode 2, which focuses on the near-death battle, much more a torture and execution against multiple godlike beings in godlike statues in the dungeon that he and his party are trapped in. So this whole series seems to be nothing but this guy screaming.
The
Um,
more he screams, the harder he levels up.
yeah. So basically, they are fans are expressing admiration for his dedication to the role.
I mean, I respect the admiration as well, but I'd also be concerned. I've come to the conclusion what I'm going to do if there are voice actors at the next conventions. Oh, of course, there's gonna be voice actors at conventions I go to, but when I interview them, I'm going to give them a Ziploc bag of throat lozenges. Be like, here, you're going to need this. If not now, later.
Ugh.
Careful.
Yeah, I mean, there are this is why so many voice actors want, union
Mm-hmm.
out there for them, because when you go for something like this, it's a 30-minute episode.
Yep.
And you figure with the Japanese, they may, because they're not trying to match up lip movements or anything like that, they may be with a bunch of other people and they may end up having to do hours worth of work just to do one episode. And I can't even imagine sitting there and screaming for hours without having some sort of, insurance that it's not going to blow your voice out so much that you never work again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, something like this, that's a real possibility.
And at Sia DeBerry says there are people who can do those kinds of vocal qualities without long-term effects because their voices are naturally like that and they don't have to force it, which is great. But then there is Jessica Calvello, the voice of XL from XL Saga. She blew her voice out doing that anime. So
Yeah, I mean, you can see what, you know, screaming like that can do to somebody. Just look at Mariah Carey.
Hmm.
What she was doing while all of these people thought it was amazing, it fucked up her voice, which is why she can't hit those notes anymore and why they sound so bad when she tries to. You know, she really did a lot of damage to her voice while she was, you know, doing all of these different shows and all of the concerts and everything like that. And this is, you know, voice acting like this when you're trying to, you know, make a living on it is just as dangerous, especially when you're going to be doing series where you're doing nothing but screaming. Dragon Ball.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even I'm starting to feel it, and I'm feeling it in my vocal cords, and I'm coming from the esophagus, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, like this is why when you have
I don't know what it is with me, but whenever I like try to like shout or whatever, it feels like my left ear is just like getting constantly blocked up from within.
Yeah, I mean, this is why, you know,
It's always felt like that, and I have no idea why it is.
All right, as you were saying, Mako.
Sorry.
Well, this is why singers have voice coaches to teach them how to not do that. And you know, when you get somebody that, oh, you have a good voice, we're just going to take you, and you know, it's they don't have that ability to rest their voice. Look at shows like American Idol, and they're doing stuff with their voice that is not healthy to do with their voice, which is why by the end of a season, the people that had, you know, won had killed their voice. So it's just this is not, I mean, yay, it's going to sound great, but you know, you may not sound like that ever again.
And I totally get that. So hopefully, you know, with these provisions and the updated contracts, there will be some changes, you know.
We can only hope for the best.
Yes, as Siataberry says, and some people have voices that are more resilient, but if you're coughing up blood, you're doing something wrong.
Speaking of things gone wrong, Pokemon TV shuts down. Kind of sad.
Oh, pardon me.
Are you good? Ari, tell us what's going on with that.
Yeah, they announced that they'll disable the Pokemon TV app after more than a decade of free streaming. The app has already been removed from all digital storefronts, although current users can still watch content on their devices until the service shuts down this coming March. Until now, the Pokemon TV app has been fans' go-to platform for free Pokemon movies and episodes, which since the launch has made available on Nintendo Switch, Kindle Fire, iOS, and Android. They thank fans for their continued support and provide a list of alternate streaming download sites.
Did you see that?
See what?
Like it's like a flow chart of where to go to watch all these episodes of Pokemon.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Netflix for seasons 1, 23, and 25, the new season, and select movies. Prime Video for seasons 3 to 5. Actually, Gold and Silver 3 to 5. Rubius 6. Jesus! I think at this point, one of these streaming things just need to throw money at Pokemon and be like, we want all of the shows.
You'd think Netflix would have done that, but oh well.
Well, Pokemon, at least in the US, has been licensed for view on so many different areas and levels and TV stations. So I'm kind of not surprised. It's all over the place. It does make it very difficult, especially since to get most of the stuff on on Amazon Prime,
Yeah.
you have to actually purchase a $3 I guess extra thing just to be able to watch them, and not all of the episodes are on there. Some of those episodes they still say, hey, if you want to purchase the season, here you have to spend an extra $20.
See,
Of course they'd do something like that.
See, that reminds me. Years ago, I was watching NYPD Blue on Amazon Prime Video. Only reason I was watching it there because they had it in letterbox format, widescreen, which is my preferred view. So I'm watching the seasons, I get to season 3. And I'm like, I think I'm halfway through season 3. And I'm like, I'm going to watch one more episode and that's it. I go to the next episode and they're like, well, in order to watch this next episode, you have to pay $2.99. I'm like, the fuck you say? You mean to tell me in 20 minutes, the entire season changed to pay per video instead of watching? End up watching the rest of the series on Hulu, which had better image quality, but it was in standard format. But it is what it is. Anywho, it seems that Yu Yu Hakusho got into the global ranking. I watched an episode
Guys, you saw what I put in our chat, right?
Hold on. I didn't.
I'm sorry, but I'm.
All right, go on, go. That's fine. Let's go. That's fine.
Sorry, guys. I really can't concentrate right now.
Go for it, man. You got your health is more important than anything else, so it's all right. Don't even stress it.
It's nice seeing you guys again.
Hey, you too, bro. Take care of yourself, all right? Get some rest.
Thanks. Bye.
Later, dude. Well, now we're in 2-play mode, so I guess we just have to go back and forth. So
Yeah, so Yu Yu Hakusho.
I watched the first episode when I was in Japan, and I thought it was good. And I understand some people had issues with it because it was only 5 episodes. So
Yeah, so in its first 3 weeks of release, Netflix's live-action adaptation of the Yu Yu Hakusho anime and manga franchise has charted in the top 5 global rankings for non-English speakers. The live-action Yu Yu Hakusho show was in the top 5 global non-English language rankings for 3 weeks straight following its December 14th premiere. For the first 2 weeks, it ranked in number 1, and then obviously it started to drop from there.
Mm-hmm.
It reportedly had 2.6 million views total, with 11 million hours viewed and an average runtime of 4 hours 11 minutes from December 25th to the 31st. And then from December 18th to the 24th, it had 6.2 million total views with 26.1 million hours viewed and an average runtime of, again, 4 hours and 11 minutes. So the actor who played Yusuke, Takumi Kitamura, recently shared an optimistic update on a possible season 2 renewal. So not bad. That's kind of cool.
I could go for a season 2, but I also need to finish watching the remaining 4 episodes. I do like the fact that each episode is about an hour apiece.
Yeah, I haven't started watching it yet. I do need to sit and, take the time to actually do that. Um, and it has been well received. Reviews have been favoring its sequences, but criticizing its frantic pacing,
Mm-hmm.
which, we all know that they tried to get in quite a bit into these 5 episodes. So that doesn't surprise
Well,
me.
I did know Yusuke in live action didn't have to do like the trial, for his soul, which is understandable. Going directly to, well, you got to get like these treasures.
Mm.
Okay, next up is we're going to talk about SAG-AFTRA. This kind of connects to an article we talked about earlier in the show about.
Do you want me to do this one and then you can do the two that you were?
Okay, yeah, go ahead, go for it. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so this goes back to the unions and all of that. The Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, which is lovingly known as SAG-AFTRA, the label union announced on Tuesday that it has signed an agreement with Replica Studios, an AI voiceover studio, that sets terms for the use of artificial intelligence for voices in video games. The agreement's terms include informed consent for the use of AI to create digital voice replicas or recreations of the voice of a real performer, living or dead. They also include requirements for the safe storage of digital assets. The union said that the deal will enable Replica Studios to engage SAG-AFTRA members under a fair, ethical agreement to safely create and license a digital replica of their voice. Licensed voices can be used in video game development and other interactive media projects from pre-production to final release. But the agreement also requires that voiceover performers have the opportunity to opt out of its continued use in new works. Not for nothing, this and the use of AI would be how you get all of those screams in video games and anime without an actor or actress having to kill their own voice in order to do that. That is when AI is a good thing.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, SAG-AFTRA National Executive Director and Chief Negotiator stated regarding the agreement, recent developments in AI technology have underscored the importance of protecting the rights of voice talent, particularly as game studios explore more efficient ways to create their games. With this agreement, we have achieved fully informed consent and fair compensation when it comes to the use of our members' voices and performances. We are proud to work with Replica in leading the way to make it easier for these companies to access SAG-AFTRA's world-renowned talent in an ethical manner that ensures consent and fair compensation for their contributions. This agreement also paves the way for other companies to follow their lead. Meanwhile, several voice actors have expressed their concerns on the agreement and how it was reached. Steve Bloom says, "Excuse me, with all due respect, you state in the article approved by affected members of the union's voiceover performer community. Nobody in our community approved this that I know of. Games are the bulk of my livelihood and have been for years. Who are you referring to?" And then Yang Yi says, approved by affected members, literally every working voice actor, we did not approve this. Somebody else says, fucking who? Did any of y'all approve this? I didn't get told we were voting on this. Yeah, so obviously very mixed reviews on these. SAG-AFTRA represents over 160,000 performers, including voice actors, and negotiates contracts with studios to guarantee consistent pay, working conditions, contributions towards health insurance and a pension, and preferential casting for union members. So, yeah.
Now, I want to get into something quickly here, because when this popped up, I know I heard about something similar. Actress Justine Bateman went on the record talking about, AI. This is not good. I won't go into full details, but she was interviewed by Deadline about the whole thing, and she's basically saying that the protections is not enough. Ergo, whatever the protections that they put in the contract, the SAG put in the contract, this is not covered by that, and there's your problem.
My thing is, as I said, this is a good solution for very dangerous vocal issues. Just like actors have people that do their stunts, this would give a very viable and very protected way for voice actors to be able to do things that, one, would be unhealthy, and two, just might not need to be done anymore. However, when you start getting into things like this, you start getting into the other issues of AI. And there are now game companies out there that are putting together games with AI scripts, AI animation, and they are using AI voices that are basically stealing voices from other sources to use in the game. And that's, illegal.
See, here's my thing about AI. As I've said countless times before, AI should be to help guide, not control. Personally, AI in an MMO, I think, is a good thing to help keep some, I guess I want to say originality or content. When you jump back into the MMO, you talk to that NPC, he is saying something different that could lead you on a new quest or something like that. That, I think, is okay. I think that's perfectly fine. Using AI as a guide to create the backdrops of the MMOs, where you get like these different suggestions of how it should look, and you take something and you go your own way with it, that's fine. But when you're just like, you know what, you just drop the AI and just let it do its own thing, that's not good. It really isn't. AI for voices for certain scenes, sure. For screaming and certain emotions, sure, I think that's fine. I feel that if a certain voice actor is going to use AI for a scene, they should be allowed to hear how it goes, have them make whatever tweaks that need to be made in order for it to go through. I think that's perfectly fine like that. As long as the voice actor is involved, and even though their voice is in the system, they still get paid for it because it's still their voice and their work.
That I agree with. You want to use a voice for AI, just pay the person a royalty for using their damn voice.
Yep.
I mean, obviously they're not doing the work, but you should still pay them for the use of their likeness. Whether that's, how they look or how they sound, how they sing, it doesn't matter.
Bonus points for you saying royalties on that, because it's having a voice actor going through AI is no different from a voice actor or an actor doing a show and then it goes into syndication. AI is just voice syndication, and you should be paid royalties for that.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, these people aren't being paid royalties now.
I know.
All of these voice actors for different series, for different, video games. If a video game does really, really well, they don't see any extra money. The only thing that they can do is, hopefully get on to something like Cameo or Twitch or something like that. And then they have to sell themselves to their fans and hope that their fans will throw enough money at them that, the popularity of whatever the series is, is brought to them that way.
Right.
I mean, look at Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3 has won tons of awards. The voice actors have won tons of awards. They don't get anything extra. They go on freaking Twitch and do, play their games and then do signings and cameo things while they're on Twitch, just to get a little bit more money. And the fact that they need to do that just to be able to, have a livelihood sucks.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to get into our last story of the night, and then we're going to get into, meanwhile in Japan, we're only going to do like 2 stories, and we're going to save the rest for next week, and then wrap it up. So, when I read about this, I was like, I don't recall the movies coming out at all, so WTF. So we're talking about Love Live Nijigasaki. It seems that the series is coming to an end for that series, with a film trilogy finale and a visual novel, which is quite interesting. So right after the 6th live, which is I Love You, You Love Me concert tour, which they announced on Sunday, that the franchise's new anime film trilogy will begin with the first film opening on September 6, 2024. Sunday's event also revealed the film trilogy will serve as a conclusion of the anime's story. The film trilogy is set after the 2 previous television series and the Love Live Nijigasaki High School Idol Club Next Sky OVA project, which I have yet to watch. The main cast and staff are returning for the trilogy. There is a teaser visual below where it looks like they're running on an island, which is Sunday's concert also announced the 7th live concert tour, as well as the project's first visual novel game, which I'll get into in just a bit. The first season of the main series, Love Live Nijigasaki High School Idol Club, premiered on the Tokyo MX channel as well as the Bandai channel, Line Live, and YouTube live streaming services back in October 2020. Second season premiered in April of 2023. Crunchyroll streamed the anime as it aired in Japan and later streamed the English dub. I did watch both seasons though. The franchise staff introduced new members of Nijigasaki's Academy's Idol Appreciation Club in 2017 as part of K-Lab's games and Bushiroad's Love Live School Idol Festival smartphone game Perfect Dream Project, better known as PDP. So, we're also going to get a visual novel, which I might pick up. I haven't decided. The tagline of the game reads, "Your school life with the 12 girls begins anew." As per what was announced at the concert, they also announced the 7th tour, and it revealed that the new anime trilogy, as well as which I just mentioned, which is going to be the finale. So basically, from what we've gotten, there's going to be a 7th concert tour. There's going to be a trilogy, a movie trilogy that's going to wrap up this series as a whole, and we're going to get a visual novel, which probably is going to be you helping them put together their music and so forth, which does sound kind of interesting. We don't have any idea when this is coming out, but as soon as we know something is up, we will let you know. Now that we got that out the way, we're going to get into the last part of our show, Meanwhile, in Japan, we have some interesting stories. And Mako, you get first dibs.
Ooh, I get first dibs.
Well, yes.
Mm,
Because you always say, you'll take whatever's left over, but you know what? You get dibs on this.
I'm gonna go with the third one.
All right? And I'm looking at that. Well, of course. I'm surprised you didn't go for the second one.
Nah.
I think I'll go for the first one. So let me adjust the music here. So this is an interesting story. Basically, this story is about a candy company that wins top honors at a medicinal product awards. The candy is called Ne Rune Rune Rune. This candy has been loved by children in Japan since the 1980s for its combination of sweet tasting goo and the wonders of scientific discovery. By mixing various packets of powder with water and each other, kids are whisked away on a tour of sights and tastes from fresh picked strawberries to wine grapes. And if that weren't enough, it is now the proud recipient of Best Award at the 2023 Nikkei Excellent Products and Services Award, which honors excellence in product development. This is the 42nd year this award has been given out, so it might seem strange that a 38-year-old candy is winning it now, but the reason that is a whole new use for it has been found. Last year, the makers at Crazy came out with Medicine Gobble Ne Runru, better known as Okasori Pakueto Ne Runru in Japanese. This product is almost identical to regular Ne Rune Rune, except that it's specifically designed to be mixed with medicine to make it easier to take. In Japan, many people prefer to get cold and flu medicines from the pharmacy, and there they often come in powdered form. As you might imagine, many kids have trouble swallowing a pile of bitter powder. When mixed in with Ne Rune 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 powders and their delightful flavors such as melon soda and strawberry, the taste of medicine is virtually undetectable. Tracy came up with the idea when they learned that medical professionals have been using Ne Rune 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 to help kids take their medicine for years. They then conducted research with the National Center for Child Health and Development and found that mixing medicines with the candy doesn't interfere with its efficiency. Other slight changes were made, such as removing the calcium fortification that likely came from the egg components, which were done away with to make the product allergen-free. Also, the portion size has been reduced to 1/3 a normal serving of Ne Rune Rune Rune. This is so it's less troublesome to prepare and also ensure that the child doesn't get full before they eat all the medicine inside. Medicine Gobble Ne Rune Rune, Ne Rune Rue, was chosen by a panel of judges for scoring highly in the 6 criteria of technological development potential, price effectiveness, contributions to business performance, growth potential, originality, and impact on industry and society. It's definitely an original idea that can expand the market of Ne Rune 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 and could even have applications for seniors who need to take medicine regularly and have been known to have difficulty swallowing. Hopefully, other candy makers will follow suit and you can get those M&M painkillers you've been dreaming of.
M&Ms.
Tastes just like chocolate, but the pain is gone.
Yeah. Speaking of chocolate,
Here we go.
Yeah, so though the annual festivities surrounding the new year may be over, your personal celebrations don't have to end. And what better way to celebrate the Year of the Dragon with super limited edition chocolates infused with Black Dragon sake.
That's why you picked this one.
Oh, hell yeah. chocolate and alcohol? Hell yeah. So Kamakura-based chocolate truffle maker Maison Cacao has teamed up with 220-year-old Fuki-based Kokuryu, meaning Black Dragon Brewery, who once paired up with Final Fantasy for a gorgeous label to make some special chocolates filled with the aroma of Black Dragon sake. So the truffle chocolate is a mixture of dark and milk chocolate made from Colombian cocoa beans and combined with the bright, fruity flavor of Black Dragon sake, which has notes of apple, tropical fruit, and melon. So the chocolate flavor gets even deeper. So the combination of companies hope these chocolates bring you luck and the spirit of the Year of the Dragon, which welcomes new beginnings and new endeavors. You can taste the sake. From the brewery's long history of passion and facing challenges, which is infused into the rich chocolate flavor. Hopefully, that spirit will welcome even more luck your way. So these chocolates are super limited edition. They were on sale until today. And a box of 16 went for about $19.
Let me tell you, candy and sweets and chocolate in Japan is pretty cheap.
Yeah, this isn't cheap though.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah, these are very small truffle chocolates. So I mean, just looking at the size of the box, this box is smaller than the glass. And it has 16 very tiny squares in it for $19.
I mean, like
would I pay it? Yes, I would.
Yeah, because let's be real. If that came to the States, that'd be about $40.
I would be more than that.
Yeah. But like, you know what? Let me grab this out of the fridge. I will be right back. Mako, entertain the fans.
Entertain the fans? What the hell do I look like? So let's see. What else has been going on? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It sucks.
Well, Mako, I think you know what I went to the fridge to get.
Did you get candy?
Maybe. Like, I will describe this for those who are listening. I picked up a box of white mini chocolate bars, and they taste like Oreos. It's like a box of like 12 pieces, I believe, and this was like 100 yen. And it's very delicious. Now, I also picked up packages of Kit Kats as well. And these are all Kit Kat minis because that's how they come. So I have a bag of milk tea Kit Kats.
Those are good.
I have a bag of, I guess, chocolate cake with strawberry on top Kit Kats.
Ooh.
I have a bag of strawberry Kit Kats.
Those are good.
I have a bag of, I think these might be wheat flavored Kit Kats.
Yes, that's golden wheat.
Yep.
So it is actually kind of savory.
And
it's not sweet as a normal Kit Kat.
And I picked up chocolate orange Kit Kat.
Ooh.
And here's the thing. These are the traditional flavors you can find in any pharmacy, discount store, or retail store. Unless you go to the Kit Kat Chocolatery for special flavors. And I paid 300 yen a bag, which is basically like $2.
Yeah, I think when we get them from the shops around here, they're like $5 a bag or more.
Mm-hmm.
$5.
And what's interesting is I had gone to Industry City, which is like Industry City in Brooklyn has like a little Japan village, and there's a place called Sunrise Mart where you can get Japanese food and drinks and all that. And I saw similar bags of it there, but it's totally different. I think that store location gets like the Chinese equivalent of the same thing that I bought. Because the packaging is different. So.
Yeah, it also depends on the season. The season will determine the packaging, even if it is like there's a strawberry packaging for spring, there's a strawberry packaging for summer.
Then again, if you think about it, I just look at it. I'm looking at the chocolate cake Kit Kats. They are ornaments on the bag. I guess it's like Christmas cake Kit Kats, something like that.
I wonder if it's like a cream cake kind of thing.
Well, I guess the next time I come over, I'll bring the bags and we can try them out.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. I did buy an extra bag of milk tea Kit Kats, but I took those to work. The rest are still here, but the candy here, I like the chocolate bar here, I definitely picked up because I noticed a lot of the candies and chocolates I saw there, I can get here. So I was kind of looking for stuff I normally can't get. So enough about that. I think it's time.
So I'm looking that up. To get that here is about $7.
What?
And that the chocolate cake one.
Okay.
So it is strawberry, chocolate cake, and a tiny touch of rum.
No shit.
According to this.
Hold. All right. Ping me the link. All right.
Yeah, it even says that it has a 0.9% alcohol content.
It kind of reminds me of what Cedar Berry says. He said that his mom brought like double chocolate reverse Oreo Pocky from China when she went with his sister to pick up his niece. Interesting. Yep, that's basically it. That's the same package I'm holding up. Kit Kat Japan. I didn't see the white chocolate. I didn't see that there, but the milk tea I had. Yeah, everything else I did pick up. So kind of interesting. Right, and I'm looking at the link. They are partnered with a coffee shop in central Tokyo right next to Akihabara to help you pick up your online purchases. That's interesting. And I'm actually looking up this is called the Coffee Counter Tokyo. I'm actually looking it up. And I hold on. I'm going to do directions. Well, holy shit. I'm looking up the hotel I stayed in Akihabara, and it's 15 minutes away by train, 20 minutes walking. This cafe. Okay. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about being in Japan, I went to the one maid cafe that I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
Shangri-La, the plus size maid cafe.
Nice.
And if you ever move to Japan, Mako, you have a job there. I showed them your Velma, and they thought you were the cutest thing ever.
Dear God.
Well, you, Patty, and a bunch of others, they actually love seeing the plus size cosplays. But I was telling them, there's a lot of plus size cosplayers in America that do their thing, and and they were loving it. And yes, I have pictures with them, so I have to I have to scan those in or take pictures and send it to you. Or I might have to post it on my personal Facebook. But, but anywho, enough about that. I think it's time to pack it up and get the hell up on out of here because it is definitely about that time.
Yes, it is.
So if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. What we like and don't like, we're telling you straight up. So if you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. Don't forget to check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you will find you'll find anime reviews, cosplay tips and tricks, cosplay interviews, links to our YouTube page of convention coverage, links to our Facebook page of cosplay coverage, editorials, and so much more at animejamsession.com. And don't forget, you can check out our podcast on Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. If you like watching, download and you can catch up with us. Plenty more where that came from. And don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. It's all Anime Jam Session. Follow us on this so you know when we're going live, when we have new episodes up, photos, videos, a whole lot more. And for those of you who follow us on our socials, thank you so much. We really appreciate the love. And if you're watching live, there are links below to our tip jars. You can click on our links for Stream Elements, Streamlabs, or Ko-Fi if you want to throw us a few dollars. We really appreciate that. Or you can donate bits in the chat. We will appreciate that too. Or you can also sub to the channel. Every little bit counts. So we're going to go around the room. Last words, Mako-chan.
I am so freaking done with this week, and it's only Tuesday.
I believe you. I certainly do. My last words is, right after I do all the edits, I'm going to go back and finish my dinner. I could not finish my wings, so they're sitting on a table waiting for me to get back. So, but on the plus side, I've lost about 20 pounds.
That's good.
And I can't tell. I mean, when I put my pants on, yeah, I can tell. But when I look at my face and I'm like, I can't tell. But anywho, what else do we have? Yeah, that's it. I think we are done. We've gotten everything together. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Ari will be here. Hopefully Barry will be here. Will you be here? We hope you are. So that's it. End of list. We're getting out of here. I'm Ranma.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Perfect. Awesome. We're getting out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!